We're turning our attention now to a developing story. State health officials are monitoring 2 Texans who were aboard that cruise ship with cases of the deadly hantavirus. The state health department said they left the ship before the outbreak was ever identified, and so far they have no symptoms. They also don't believe the pair ever came into contact with an infected person. On Sunday, the World Health Organization said it was responding to a suspected outbreak of the virus. 3 people aboard the ship have died so far, and dozens of others are quarantined. That ship is expected to arrive in the Canary Islands within the next few days, where passengers will be screened before disembarking. Tonight, KLTV7's Emma Burns has more on exactly what this virus is and how it spreads.
Rare but deadly. According to the CDC, hantavirus, found mainly in rodents, is typically spread when people inhale particles from their droppings. Human-to-human transmission is uncommon and has only been documented for the Andes virus.
In the United States, for example, it's the deer mouse that tends to harbor it. But the Andes strain of hantavirus that we're seeing on the ship comes from a different mouse from South America. And that strain is the most contagious strain that has been reported among all the different hantaviruses.
Symptoms usually begin between 1 to 8 weeks after exposure and typically include fever, headache, muscle aches, abdominal pain, nausea, or vomiting. Contact with the virus could happen when cleaning rodent droppings, farming or gardening, and living in a rodent-infested space.
Rodents are exactly like humans are. They're looking for food, water, shelter all the time.
Kirk Slack, the owner of Dang Pest Control, says preventing disease from rodents starts with protecting your home.
Cleaning is the biggest thing. Also do repairs for your house. We go to houses where the bottoms of doors are rotted off or fascias falling off the house, and it just entry points are just so glaring, and it's so easy for rodents to get in your house.
If you have a rodent infestation and plan on treating it yourself, Slack recommends wearing personal protective equipment like masks, gloves, and long sleeves when in contact with droppings, and using snap traps as a humane way to exterminate the rodent.
It's very important. If you're having trouble, get on it quickly, but if you're having trouble, call a professional.
Emma Burns, KLTV 7 News.
According to the World Health Organization, the virus has infected nearly 900 Americans within the last 30 years, with 49 of those cases being